Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Friday afternoon. Welcome into this, the latest edition of the Auburn Blitz. I'm Andy Graham, alongside Brett Pritchard, and we'll be with you maybe for the next hour, taking your comments, talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics. Auburn will take on Georgia this Saturday, 5 o'clock at the Auburn Arena. Georgia 10-4 on the year, 0-1 after losing their opening SEC contest against Kentucky. In Athens this past week.
Close game.
It was a very close game. Georgia has been playing very well. They went into Memphis just last weekend and defeated the Tigers. The Tigers were without one of their better players, but still it was a very impressive win for Georgia to go on the road and do that. Tom Crean's doing a good job there. He has infused that program with a lot more talent than what Auburn saw last year. Auburn, of course, sweeping Georgia last year. The game in Auburn Arena was really not that close. But we'll talk about that game, break down those numbers a little bit, talk about everything kind of going on in the world of Auburn athletics. Again, not a lot going on right now, kind of a quiet time. You got National Signing Day coming up in the beginning of February. You got basketball season will continue. Baseball practice is starting now. First game, I think, is mid-February, a four-game series with Illinois Chicago, I believe. So we'll be talking about those things, of course.
I'm just glad to get out from up there.
Yeah, really. We'll be talking about those things in the coming weeks. National championship game will be on Monday. We might talk about that game just a little bit.
You ready for it?
I'm ready for it. I was ready for it this past Monday. I wish we just had it there.
Why is
it's
there
been
12,
a long
why is there
layoff.
12 days between the semifinal and the
That's a great question.
They got to fix that.
Yeah.
I mean, they do.
This is the latest it's ever, maybe it's ever been. I don't know, but it's the latest it's been in a while. Usually, maybe it was, I guess, because of the fact that, when New Year's Eve fell on the calendar, they didn't want to have it that immediate Monday. I get it. I mean, I guess, but this is just kind of ridiculous. It's kind of gone this long. And hopefully it won't affect the game that much. But NFL playoffs this weekend as well. We'd love to take your comments, whatever is on your mind this afternoon. Let us know, and we'll talk about that. Breaking news yesterday, as Randy and I were on the program, love to get your reaction to that. Really? The SEC West got a new coach, Mike Leach, going to Mississippi State.
Yeah, it's been the talk of the whole country in the sports arena with the two guys that are at the schools in Mississippi now, Mississippi State and Ole Miss. And, of course, in true Lane Kiffin fashion, he welcomes Mike Leach to the state of Mississippi. Look, I heard you guys yesterday on the show, and what Mississippi State needed was something that was dynamic because they're a program that has to have somebody come in and make a splash, and they did. Now, Mike Leach is a good coach. I don't think he's a great coach. I think he's a good coach. I think he's won, obviously, at everywhere he's been, and he's been in some lesser conferences, but he's been at some lesser programs too. So let's kind of keep that in perspective. So I think he's got an offensive, he's an offensive genius as far as being able to come up with game plans to combat opponents and all that. But for the most part, he gets his attention by what he does off the field, not what he does on the field. His antics and his just wild and bizarre. Yeah, well, that's an understatement. His wild and bizarre comments and how easy he is to trail away from the topic at hand. He can start talking about jackalopes and wedding invitations and mascots and planets. He says, how can you judge what goes on there? Have you ever been to that planet? He just be in the middle of a pretty serious conversation, but he's almost direct opposite from Nick Saban. Nick Saban is so just dialed in. If anybody strays from the topic at hand, or if anybody asks him a question he thinks maybe a little over the top, he blows a gasket. Mike Leach just kind of plays off. He
goes with it.
He goes with it. Lane Kiffin, nobody knows what he does. I mean, he's just a wild card. So the Egg Bowl is one of the most, I guess, probably the nastiest rivalry in college football. Now has a new twist to it. I think these two guys like each other. They probably respect each other for the most part. And you look at those two programs now, they have the spotlight on them, and that's what you got to have. I mean, so Mississippi State, I think, hit a home run there. You know, the guy that went to the New York Giants, Judge, is that his name?
Joe Judge.
Joe Judge. I mean, who would have known? I mean, what kind of hire would that have been for Mississippi State?
Maybe long term it would have been
Well,
good.
we'd have talked about it for 5 minutes and moved on. Now you got you know, a guy that you're going to be talking about all the way through until kickoff next year, and then watching those games. But this division in college football with the coaches that are in it now, man, it's crazy.
You can say for one thing for Leach, he finds quarterbacks and he coaches them up, and they succeed. That air raid offense, it has, unlike Gus Malzahn, who came in and was a revelation as far as running the football in the SEC. It has tailed off. Auburn hadn't had a 1,000-yard rusher in the last 2 years. Mike Leach has been doing this for about 20 years, and every time his team is going to be in the top 5 in passing. I mean, it works. It is who he is, and he can coach up a quarterback, and they can. I mean, who ever heard of that Gunther kid with the mustache? And now he's in the NFL. You
talking about Minshew?
Yeah, Gunnar Minshew.
Yeah,
He absolutely could. You look at. I went back and looked. He was at Texas Tech for 10 years. It's almost identical to Dan Mullen's time at Mississippi State. The records. Almost identical. I mean, practically 8-9 wins a year. Mm-hmm. You'll have a 7 in there thrown in, and 1 year where they went over and above. The 1 year from Mike Leach was in 2008. He won 11 games. Dan Mullen was 2014. Outside of that, he's an 8-9 win coach. Now that was at Texas Tech. Washington State, pretty much the same thing. Mike Leach has had 2 seasons in 18 years as a head coach where he won double digits. That's it. You said he's a good coach. He's not a great coach. Randy loves him.
Well, Randy's enamored by the press conferences. That's where he likes Mike Leach, and that's where Mike Leach garners a lot of attention. He tries to get out there and say the most bizarro crap that he can get. He's the guy that gets in a fight with Craig James and putting his kid in the closet and all this. It's always something bizarro with him. So yeah, he's fun to listen to because of the stuff he says, but I don't want him to be my coach. Now, I'm not saying that Gus Malzahn's burning up the woods by no stretch of the imagination, but he's not a great football coach. He's a good football coach. And, if you're out there listening, you may go, well, what kind of category do you put Gus Malzahn in? I mean, at least the guy's got a personality. Well, true. I got no argument for that. On Gus's side, he keeps trying to convince all of us that next year's the year. And then when next year rolls around, he tells us next year's the year. And then, we got a comment already about the offensive line coach. Is Chad Morris really, did he have something to do with J.B. Grimes leaving? Did he look at the way this offense was playing, and did he look at Gus Malzahn and said, look, man, you've been down this road twice. You've hired these guys. It ain't working. If you want to get better offensive, we got to start up front. I mean, I was asked that question on Gary Harris's show this morning. And I know that it was stated that he left on his own and all that, but there's part of me that feels like with Chad Morris coming in, if Gus Malzahn actually is going to listen to him, maybe Chad Morris sat him down and said, man, first of all, we got to get better on the offensive line before we start doing anything else. It ain't going to matter what kind of plays we call if we can't block anybody. Clear. So I think there's something more to that J.B. Grimes thing. That's purely speculation on my part, may not be. But it's just hard for me to imagine that there was not some discussion of why that's been such a poor part of our offense the last couple of years. Well,
according to Philip Marshall, they're doing a full-blown search. Gus Malzahn and Chad Morris working hand in hand with this, doing interviews. There is, when is it going to happen? I don't know. The name that Kaplavac
From Colorado?
Colorado is a name that it keeps resurfacing. We'll see how that
Dustin
plays
Fry's
out.
out, isn't he?
Nobody knows.
Depends
on who you ask.
Nobody knows.
Depends on who you ask. But anyway, apparently, again, according to Philip Marshall, Chad Morris is heavily involved in this final decision.
Okay, well then there again, that kind of reiterates my point. If he's heavily involved, and he doesn't have any ties to any of these guys, and he walks in and Gus goes, okay, I'm just being hypothetical here. Gus goes, all right, Chad, we're close. Tell me what you think's wrong. Well, after I watched that bowl game, Coach, I can tell you where our weakness is. And I can tell you what what y'all hadn't done a really good job in the last couple of years doing, that's recruiting in that position too. So it's hard for me to believe, based on what you just said, that Philip Marshall said, that there's not some push out maybe by Chad Morris. Jason Caldwell will be on with us here in just a minute, so maybe we can ask him that question.
Hopefully so. And if anybody's got better information, it'd be him. So if you got any thoughts on that, by all means, we'd love to hear.
Do you think there's more to it?
I told Randy yesterday, I hope that J.B. Grimes was forced out.
I
heard somebody and again, this was just rumor, but somebody told me Auburn offered him a raise to stay. And if that's the question, I am appalled.
But that'll make you wash your hands or something. Raise for what?
This is my point. We're up against our first break here, but don't go anywhere. Jason Caldwell will join us when we come back right after this.
Start the new year off with something new during the Start Something New sales event at Bice Motors. Lease a 2019 Dodge Challenger SXT for $319 a month with 0 down. 2020 Ram Bighorn Crew Cab for $349 a month. 2020 Jeep Gladiator for $329 a month. And to honor our first responders, get an additional $500 rebate.
Come see us in Alex City.
Bice Motors.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
Hillbilly Towers is an affordable senior citizen community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East, where spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living, where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today to find out more about Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552, for your family at Hillbilly Towers. That's 256-329-0552.
WOTM, your new home for high school sports in Alabama. WOTM has you covered with live coverage of all 7 championship games of the Super 7. WOTM is available to all TV providers in Alabama. If WOTM is not currently a part of your channel lineup, call your provider and request that they add WOTM. WOTM, your exclusive TV home for the AHSAA Super 7 basketball, baseball, and softball championships. All live only on WOTM.
Alex City Marines, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, and the Yerkes invite you by to see what they have available today. The 2020 Manitous and Landaus are in, and boy, are they gorgeous. Also, some great deals on demos. Take advantage of that while they last. Alex City Marine also is doing shrink wrapping, storage. Get in line now. In fact, call this number, 256-215-FISH. Alex City Marine, Alex City.
Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
From the smallest drippy faucet to drain cleaning to water heater replacement to gas lines to total systems replacement, A&M Plumbing handles it all. Visit amplumbing.net today for the experienced, licensed, and insured pros at A&M Plumbing.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
The Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales in Opelika has the largest selection of prestige cars, trucks, and SUVs in Central and East Alabama, all with financing available, little to no money down, and extended warranties. Get pre-qualified in under 2 minutes, online or from your mobile device at GillsPrestigeOnline.com. It's the Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales, 1430 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. About 45 more minutes left in today's show. Andy and Brett here with you, taking you up to 1 o'clock. Going to go to the phone line and welcome in our good friend Jason Caldwell from inside the Auburn Tigers. Jason, so good to have you on the program, as always, on a Friday. A lot going on. Auburn in the lookout for a new offensive line coach, new coach in the SEC West that Auburn, the SEC will welcome in. We'll talk about that, talk about Auburn and Georgia a little bit with you. But just first, we had a question a while ago about the offensive line new coach search. Any news on that, or any feeling that you have one way or another?
Yeah, not right now. That's something that normally when you get position coach hires, they kind of normally come out of the blue, because normally when it's a coordinator, you kind of have a little bit more of a heads up, because sometimes those guys are involved. Normally position coach moves are kind of a little bit more under the radar, and so this one could come at any time. I really think Chad Marson's heavily involved in this, and so because of that, we kind of don't have an idea. We're kind of used to Gus Malzahn. We know kind of the direction he normally goes because of connections. Normally it's people that he's worked with or have worked with guys he knows. This could be different because of Chad Marson involved. It may be more of his timeline, so that's why I think a guy like Dustin Fry could be a guy to watch, that coached with him at Arkansas at SMU, and played at Clemson, was a GA there. So that's a connection there. But heard Chris Kaplovic, a guy from that coaches at Colorado now. I've heard that name too. So I think there's a couple of guys to watch out for. But this one could come out of the blue, and we might not have any idea.
Jason, some big names still on the list for Auburn in football recruiting. You got the kid out of Georgia, the 5-star tackle that said he moved it to 50-50 between Auburn and Georgia. Have you heard anything from him? Have y'all talked to him about this having an impact on his decision?
Yeah, no, not really, because Georgia's had a change too. Not since he said 50-50, but really since the last time he was able to visit and talk. Sam Pittman has gone to Arkansas. Of course, they hired Matt Luke, but both his schools have had changes. Georgia has lost 4 offensive linemen, so both schools are replacing a lot of guys up front. I think Georgia probably will end up having to go the grad transfer route to find them a tackle as well. So it's kind of evening out, but the difference is Georgia's already signed 4 true high school offensive tackles. They did that in December. They signed 4 high school tackles. Auburn signed 1 in Jeremiah Wright from Selman, a guy that he could wind up being inside as a guard before he's over with. So I don't know that it's going to have a huge impact, because I think for him it's still a matter of learning something about a new coach at both his spots, because I would imagine that he, while Ole Miss may have looked at him, I don't think he visited a whole lot with Ole Miss, so he's got to learn Matt Luke and whoever Auburn hires as well. So I don't think it'll have a big impact.
Jason, let's shift gears, talk some basketball. Real quick update. You just let us know that Auburn has changed the time of the game for tomorrow with Georgia. It will be 11 a.m. For everybody that's going to the game. So 11 a.m. tip now instead of 5 p.m. because of the weather, the anticipated bad weather moving through that part of the state during that time frame. Jason, as you said, don't know exactly on TV yet where that game will be moved to. So just kind of keep your eyes and ears out for a change there. But 11 o'clock be the change. Let's talk about this Georgia team coming in. They're a good basketball team. Auburn squeaks out a win against Vanderbilt. But, again, a formidable opponent. Tom Crean's done a great job over in Georgia building this program.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it very similar to the team that Auburn just had a shootout with the other night at Vandy. Really talented offensive team. You look at Georgia with Anthony Edwards, Rashawn Hammonds. I mean, this is a team that could score. And so I thought, a couple of weeks ago when you looked at how the schedule mapped out, I thought maybe Auburn's most difficult 3-game stretch of the year might be right now, even though 2 of those games are at home. When you talk about the Vandy team that can score, Georgia that can score, and then going to Alabama for an Alabama team that can fill it up, those are 3 teams that are different than Auburn plays now. Last year, those would have been very good matchups for Auburn because Auburn probably would have been happy to score 100 against those teams who don't play great defense. This is a different story. This Auburn team is more defensive-oriented, half-court, and so those teams are going to kind of get up and down a little bit. But you look at it, and Anthony Edwards probably going to get his. It's not allowing somebody else to really break out is probably the key for Auburn, defensively on Saturday.
Yeah, Auburn's been playing really good defense, and that's what's kept them in a lot of these games. It gave them a chance to win a lot of them. It seemed like Vanderbilt maybe got to Auburn a little bit more than other teams have. Do you think they'll have the same kind of trouble staying in front of Georgia?
Yeah, the interesting thing was that Vanderbilt made a lot of tough shots. I thought there in the second half, probably 8 or 9 of the shots they made in the last 10 minutes were contested shots that they just knocked down. Sometimes it happens that way, but I thought Vandy did just a really good job of knocking down shots. Sometimes you just have to tip your hat and go, hey, that team did a great job. But, I would expect that Auburn's defense is going to get a whole lot of attention. Obviously yesterday, today, and then heading into tomorrow morning's tip at 11 a.m.
Mike Leach hired at Mississippi State. Just initial thoughts on welcoming the Pirate to the SEC?
Yeah, I think it makes SEC media days and press conferences very interesting. I just don't know that it's a fit. We'll see. I may be completely wrong. I just don't know that it's the fit for this league. I kind of come back to it was just a couple of days ago because it kind of struck me. They lost a bowl game to Air Force to finish 6-7, and 2 days later he was tweeting out a funny church sign or something like that. And I'm like, I don't know that goes over well in the Southeastern Conference if you just kind of are talking about something that struck you funny 2 days after you lose. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the quirkiness will fit in. I don't correlate. People are talking about all these off the beaten path. Start with Mississippi is not off the beaten path any longer. Mississippi State fans are very much interested in winning and have been for a while. And so we'll see if it works out. I know one thing, that Mississippi football is going to be much, much different. They probably had 2 of the guys who made the least amount of noise in the league the last couple of years in Matt Luke and Joe Moorhead to now. There will be nobody that will make more noise than Lane Kiffin and Mike Leach in the state of Mississippi.
One last question. We'll let you go. Who you got, Clemson or LSU?
I got LSU. Obviously, I think Clemson's physical. I think they're a really good team. I still come back to the thing that I've watched LSU all season long. Defensively, they've gotten better, but offensively, they take advantage of mismatches. And I look at Clemson, and while one of their safeties is really good, 11 is as good a player as there is in the country. But that means the other 2 guys, outside linebacker and the other safety, have to usually be locked in man-to-man. For me, slot receiver for LSU, and especially for me now, I look at a guy that may be huge in this game is Thaddeus Moss. I think he could have, a game where he has 150, 160 yards because I think there's a big mismatch inside. So that and probably a healthier Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think LSU is the team that's going to win it.
Jason Caldwell from Inside the Auburn Tigers, thank you so much. We'll talk again next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jason.
It gets a break. Don't go anywhere. More to come right after this.
At Mortgage Pro, we won't be able to finance a new car or new boat. We can't open you a checking account. Mortgage Pro specializes in mortgage loans. If you're looking to purchase a new home or refinance your current home, the only way to go is Mortgage Pro. We can close in 15 days or less. We can offer the best rates in the mortgage industry, and we can waive appraisal fees on any new loan from September 1st until December 31st. Call Mortgage Pro today.
Hey Realtors, do you know about LMG Ad Agency? We build your brand and help sell your properties or a unique lifestyle so you can focus on your clients. We focus on professional photos, videos, aerial photography and videography, and commercial real estate. We'd love to tell your story. Contact us today at 256-392-4250 or visit our website at lmgadagency.com.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
I'm Lisa McClendon from Country Financial, and I have spent years in our community helping people protect their homes, cars, and lives. I am proud to be a member of the 2018 National Championship Team and a National Advisory Council member for Country Financial. Complete financial security does not end with just insurance. I am also here to help you plan for your financial future.
Together, we can help you set up a step-by-step plan to reach financial security.
Let's talk soon.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control for generations, and now with EnviroCare, you can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs. EnviroCare's exclusive Centricon termite colony elimination system provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. EnviroCare's Centricon system protects your home year-round. Call the professionals at EnviroCare throughout East Central Alabama for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace. Smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you. Taking you up to 1 o'clock today. Thanks so much to Jason Caldwell from Inside the Auburn Tigers joining us in the previous segment. Always good insight there. We'll see what happens with Auburn hiring a new offensive line coach. Expect that to happen sooner rather than later. Obviously, I think the dead period about to end, so visits and things and contacts will be able to ensue, and you'd like to have somebody in place. Certainly Broderick Jones, as you mentioned, 5-star offensive tackle. Auburn's still after, but that's one that they would like to land. Very, very good.
With the Georgia situation, though, as Jason said, it's becoming more of an issue where they felt like it wasn't. So
yeah,
now maybe they get back in really, really hot and heavy on him.
I'm not sure J.B. Grimes was a big factor in it anyway.
I mean, well, I was about to say.
I mean, him leaving, I'm not sure that makes any difference as far as Auburn. And that Broderick Jones, again, you listen to any of the interviews that he's done, he's the most matter of fact. He's like, They asked him if Sam Pittman leaving Georgia made a big difference. He said, nah, not really. He's just going to
go to where he wants to go.
Yeah, he's one of those you can't – I don't think anybody's got a good read on.
Some comments Steven said, with all the new coaches, I think it makes it that much harder in recruiting. Well, that definitely help. I mean, Joe Moorhead versus Mike Leach. Mike Leach is a little bit more of a polarizing guy, more dynamic. So he's not the best recruiter, obviously, but he is in the Southeastern Conference now, and he is a name a lot more than Joe Moorhead was. Do you fellas know if Anthony, referring to Anthony Schwartz, is going to quit football and just do track?
It depends on what kind. If it depends on if he makes an Olympic team, I think is what he said.
He can.
He can certainly, and that's a very real possibility. But if he should probably. I mean, if he again, there's money to be made in that sport, and to be perfectly honest, that may be his best track to being a professional athlete. That's no pun intended. Best track to being a professional athlete is to go that route. He could be an Olympic gold medalist. I mean, that's a real possibility. So we'll see what happens. I think we won't know for a while. He didn't participate in spring last year. He wasn't planning on participating in spring again this year because of track season. So it's going to be a little while. I don't think we're going to hear anything about that anytime soon. Jeremy says, wish the Grimes announcement would have come sooner. Would have liked to have had a chance to get Matt Luke. That was my first indication when they fired him at Ole Miss. I thought that might be a nice little switcheroo there. We could put Matt Luke. I think he's a very personable guy. He seemed like he would fit in well at all.
I think he would. I mean, and Georgia rips him up, and so we got to deal with that now. I thought you put something down that I read yesterday that's interesting about the 4-year cap on a contract over in the state of Mississippi. And look, I've always said, and you can go back and rewind any show we've done, I don't know why you'd sign somebody for more than 3 years, 3 or 4 years at a max. I mean, because these 7-8 year contracts, man, you just put yourself in a bad from a university standpoint, in my opinion. Because you don't know how it's going to work out. You hope for the best, but you don't. But $5 million a year for
Mike Leach reportedly signs a 4-year deal for $5 million. But the state of Mississippi state law, you can't sign for anything longer.
Do you like
than a
that
4-year
law?
Contract. I think it's smart.
I think it's smart.
It probably saves the institution.
It does.
Some money. It saves them from themselves.
Well, what a thought.
Yeah, really.
How about have that put in place just for Auburn only?
Yeah.
Not a state law. How about the board adopt that and say, look, we're not going to sign anybody.
And really, is there any? I mean, is that not security enough for you?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, but look, here's the reasoning behind why I said 3 years. Because if the guy does really well, in 3 years you're going to give him you're going to up his contract and give him a raise anyway, right?
Yep.
I mean, so and if it's bad at the end of 3 years, you can say, adios, and I'm gonna go find somebody else. You don't have all this. I mean, of course, attorneys like the longer deals because of the buyouts and you can string things out a little bit more. So, but I think it's a smart law, in my opinion.
Question, you guys, I know we can't get the same kind of production that we had in Derek Brown, but someone always steps up. Who do you think steps up on the defensive line this year?
And Jerry McKinley responds and says he thinks it's going to be Jaron Handy, who was another big guy from Mississippi.
And came in and played quality minutes as a true freshman.
Yeah. So. I mean, I think Quanius Miller could be a guy that could step up.
I'm hoping Tyrone Truesdale. I mean, I saw flashes at the beginning of the year this year, and he just faded away.
He's kind of faded away.
I mean, I guess that happens maybe to guys at times. Daquan Newkirk showed some flash. If Daquan Newkirk will get in shape, if he's able to get in shape, I think he could be a force. But he doesn't look as in shape as, say, a Marlon Davidson or a Derek Brown.
No, he's not.
Now, granted, he's had some bad injuries. The Achilles, he dealt with, I think, and maybe even some more than that. So I think those two guys could really be a force if Tyrone Truesdale, I think it's in between his ears, and Newkirk, I think it's more physical. So it's up to those guys, though.
Well, can Rodney Garner get something out of him? That's the question.
If anybody can, I would think it would be Garner.
Yep.
But I like the Jaron Handy too. I think he's definitely got some potential, and that they say it's between the ears for Miller too, Cordis Miller.
Yeah.
So that
was the problem for Byron Coward.
Yeah.
So when we had Now we got 3 guys up there.
What a great idea. It's not.
What is that?
It's not a Mississippi State show, but can we start a quoting Leach segment?
We've heard enough from Gus. Well, you can go ahead and quote Gus now for next year.
That's true.
You already know what he's going to say.
I just use the same ones every year.
You just
I
trick
never really
us,
tell
don't
everybody
you?
that.
Yeah, you just let the cat out of the bag. You just copied over what he said from 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
it's the same stuff.
It's actually the truth. Okay, well, I only got about 30 seconds left in this segment, but something I didn't tell everybody. Hey, we're brought to you by Russell Dewitt Center. With 10 locations around Central Alabama.
That's kind of important.
Very important for all your building supply needs, home decor, tools, whatever you might need. Russell Dewitt Center, that's the place for you. Also, Mortgage Pro. The Eric McKinley team. All your mortgage needs, whatever they might be. It's a reverse mortgage. It's a refinance. Interest rates are great. Give them a call today. Mortgage Pro. The Eric McKinley team. Up against the break. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
You already know the power and reliability of a Mahindra tractor. Get ready to meet their ATV and UTV lines. Haul more and tow more. Do more. Reaching speeds up to 60 miles an hour. Models have a 12-inch ground clearance and the ability to haul up to 1,200 pounds. There's a Mahindra utility vehicle and a model specifically to get the job done. Test drive today at Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor. Serving Tallapoosa, Coosa, Clay, and Talladega counties. 256-392-3613.
Be the hostess with the mostest this holiday season at Chicken Salad Chick with our easy party catering. Need a quick appetizer? Stop by Chicken Salad Chick and grab a quick chick of any chicken salad flavor or the pimento cheese ball covered with crushed pecans and crispy bacon. Remember, no meal is complete without a sweet treat. For a limited time, our pumpkin cheesecake is back and it's delicious. Chicken Salad Chick can feed any holiday crowd with our custom fit catering. 12 flavors of chicken salad, there's sure to be something for every taste bud.
Tires are important, and when getting a great price on tires, you want to get it right. So make the short drive to Wright's Tire in Sylacauga. Wright's Tire can get you any make or model of tire, and they make the drive worth it with volume pricing. Whether North Tallapoosa, South Talladega, or Coosa County, make the right choice, the right selection, the right service, and the right price. All at Wright's Tire on Fort William Street in Sylacauga. Call for a free quote, 256-245-7778, and get the right price on tires.
At CNT Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Since the dawn of time, mankind has needed tools. But not all tools are created equal. AGF Machine Rental Sales and Service has tools for all commercial construction or big residential projects. AGF Machinery offers the most durable and hardworking brands of ASV, Skyjack, and Wacker Neuson. Aerial lifts, scissor lifts, loaders, excavators, and forest equipment on demand for the best possible price. And backed by the Southeast's best team of professionals. Visit any of our strategic locations across Alabama for all your equipment needs. Or online at agfmachinery.com.
Expect it or not, the loss of a loved one is difficult. Put your family first by planning ahead. This is Joseph Dean, new owner of Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers. We are a full-service funeral home with an on-site crematory and cemetery. Whether your need is immediate or you would like to plan in advance, our experienced, compassionate staff can assist you in designing an enduring memorial experience, burial, or cremation. Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers on Highway 280 in Camp Hill or online, alabamafuneralhomes.com.
Harbor Point Ship Store has everything to make your day on the lake more enjoyable. Come on out to the biggest marina on the water. They have pizza, hot dogs, burgers, and more. Get your gas, groceries, snacks, ice, and everything you need for a fun day on the lake. Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned boat? Harbor Point has the best selection around of everyone's favorite Crest pontoons and Four Winds boats. Harbor Point also has a great selection of pre-owned boats. Come on out and take a look at Harbor Point, Marina Point Road in Dadeville. Get to the point.
Hi, I'm Kurt Bowman, General Manager of Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga.
And I'm Coco. Do you owe more on your vehicle than it's worth? Are you stuck with high interest rates? We may be able to help.
If you've made your last 12 consecutive payments on time and would like to get a new vehicle for the same or close to the same payment and save thousands of dollars in interest, you may qualify.
So come by and see us and let us show you the Vaden way.
Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga, located on Highway 280 in Sylacauga.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you for just a couple of more segments in tonight's show, or in today's show. The Auburn basketball game, if you just joining us, has been officially moved from 5 p.m. tomorrow to 11 a.m. Still working on how it will be carried. Probably won't be on ESPN, maybe ESPN News or something like that, a different avenue, but Auburn and Georgia tipping off at 11 in the morning due to some unpleasant weather.
Why wouldn't it be on the SEC Network? I mean, there's not a game at 11 tomorrow, is there? SEC Network? Maybe it is.
Maybe there is.
Well, let's look at the schedule.
Pre-program it.
Well, let's look at the schedule for tomorrow for the SEC, and then we'll kind of make that decision. But that's smart. I mean, they're expecting extremely bad weather coming through the state. Nobody is going to be missed. It's just what time is it going to get to you, and it's suspected to be in the Auburn area right between that time, between basically 3 o'clock and 8 o'clock. It's going to be going through, so they're going to move that game up. There are some 11 o'clock games tomorrow. Tennessee and South Carolina come on at noon. Alabama and Kentucky tip at 11 tomorrow on ESPN, so it definitely won't be on ESPN. There are no other games on at that time frame, so it could be an ESPN News or ESPNU or something like that, depending on what the schedule is.
Yeah, all right, well, that sounds good. This matchup, Georgia, as Jason was talking about, Anthony Edwards, fantastic freshman for Georgia, 6'5", 225 pounds, averaging about 19 points a game.
Number one pick in the draft?
Could be. I mean, he's pretty spectacular. It's going to be a pretty interesting kind of matchup between him and Okoro. Kind of same side. Wonder if they're going to be guarding each other.
I would suspect so.
It will be very interesting to see. But Georgia got they got some senior leadership. They got some freshmen peppered in there. They play about 10 deep. So this is going to be a team that Auburn, it's going to be about as deep, if not more so, than Auburn. Auburn has had some advantage there in a couple of games. They might not have that as much so against the Bulldogs. Going on the road in Auburn Arena, that's going to be a challenge. It is for everybody else. Can Auburn maintain the undefeated streak? We'll see.
I think it will. It's going to be tough. The next two games, no matter where it's played, I told Gary this morning that, get past Georgia, you know what kind of environment you're going into in Tuscaloosa on Wednesday. It's going to be rabid, undefeated. If Auburn beats Georgia, you're still going to be undefeated. It's going to be a top 5 team in the country. Alabama will play like that's their national championship game if they can. And they're scoring at will right now on people. They're scoring in the 90s, and I know they lost a close one to Florida, but they really just took it to Mississippi State. And Auburn's going to have to find a way to defend them. They're a matchup problem as well. They've got a lot of length. Petty and Kyra Lewis and a couple of those other guys now have stepped it up. And Kyra Lewis has been the consistent guy. He's been your constant. But the rest of those guys, Petty becoming a constant here over the last month has really boosted them, and that's why you've seen their point production go up.
No doubt. This is the kind of game Saturday that Austin Wiley could have a big game. They don't have really anybody to match up with his kind of size. So you saw him come forward and really be a big factor in the Vanderbilt game. And Randy and I talked about that yesterday. Could not be more proud. I mean, he was the one making free throws down the stretch that were critical.
He really was.
If
yeah.
Auburn doesn't win that game, if he's not good at the line against Vandy. So the fact that everything that he's done, just so thrilled to see him play well. So happy for him after coming out of high school being projected what he was going to do and going through everything, all the mess that happened and the injuries and all the kind of things like that. For him to be having this kind of year, it's just a great story.
Did you hear what Bruce Pearl said in the post game about him? Mm-hmm. He said that, he made a point to say, look, this all started with Austin Wiley. In the post game of this game, he's like, first of all, he said, I want to thank Austin Wiley for staying at Auburn. He said because he stayed, or he said I want him not staying. He said I want him to be acknowledged for choosing Auburn when he had other opportunities and being a legacy. He said because he said we've had recruits flock to Auburn since he came to Auburn. So he said he deserves a lot of the credit, and he was going through the same thing you were saying. Just happy to see that he's having a great year and that he's living up to potential, and that it wasn't a fluke, that everybody didn't miss it on Austin Wiley, that he really is this kind of player, and he's in shape. He really gets down there against some guys that are even bigger than him, and refuses to get pushed around. He does the pushing a lot of times, so he's relentless on the boards. It's good to have that inside presence because we have a different style offense now, and without him inside, Andy, I don't know what our record would be.
Rashawn Hammond, 6'9", 235. Amanzi Nuguez, I'm going to try that one. 6'9", 235. Tumani Kamari, 6'8", 220. That's it. That's their size. Austin Wiley, 6'10", 265.
Oh, I know, yeah.
He ought to have a field day. Rebounding, getting to the basket.
That's usually when you say that, he don't score at all.
You remember the conversation we had when we were recruiting him? I said, look, it doesn't matter if he works out or not. Just the fact that this is the kind of guy we got to get. If we ever want to be anything, this is the kind of guy we got to get. He's got Auburn in his blood. If he doesn't come to Auburn, then what's the point?
Well, I think that's what Bruce was saying.
Yeah, it's a great point.
I think he made a point on that platform the other night to say, look, if you can't get this guy, then that doesn't verify. You're never going to verify your program. You're never going to get people to buy in. He was a highly touted recruit. He was a legacy, but you're supposed to get those legacies. Georgia missed out on one. He's going to North Carolina. We thought we were in it for Kessler as well, but you got to be able to convince those guys to come to your school to get those other ones.
Yeah. We're up against another break here, but we got one final segment of the Auburn Blitz on this Friday afternoon, right after these important messages.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local Cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control for generations, and now with EnviroCare, you can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs. EnviroCare's exclusive Centricon termite colony elimination system provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. EnviroCare's Centricon system protects your home year-round. Call the professionals at EnviroCare throughout East Central Alabama for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
WOTM, your new home for high school sports in Alabama. WOTM has you covered with live coverage of all 7 championship games of the Super 7. WOTM is available to all TV providers in Alabama. If WOTM is not currently a part of your channel lineup, call your provider and request that they add WOTM. WOTM, your exclusive TV home for the AHSAA Super 7 basketball, baseball, and softball championships. All live only on WOTM.
Hey Realtors, do you know about LMG Ad Agency? We build your brand and help sell your properties or a unique lifestyle so you can focus on your clients. We focus on professional photos, videos, aerial photography and videography, and commercial real estate. We'd love to tell your story. Contact us today at 256-392-4250 or visit our website at lmgadagency.com.
Mortgage Pro is the new standard for mortgage loans. While other banks are taking 45 to 60 days to close a loan, Mortgage Pro is making it happen in less than 15 days. Your mortgage loan goes from start to finish in less than 15 days. Mortgage Pro is able to make this happen by having the most advanced technology and a highly trained staff with over 98 years combined experience. If you're looking to buy a home or refinance your current mortgage, call Mortgage Pro and let our team go to work for you.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the Auburn Blitz on this Friday. One final time, the Auburn basketball game has been moved from 5 p.m. on Saturday to 11 a.m. on Saturday. For all you out there going to the game or looking for it on TV, it'll be probably announced where it'll be. Probably won't be on ESPN because Alabama and Kentucky will be on ESPN at that time. But it will be on television somewhere, I would imagine. But 11 a.m. Auburn and Georgia tip tomorrow due to inclement weather that afternoon. National championship game, I asked Jason, I'll ask you, Brett. We'll talk about this on Monday, of course, set it up for that day a little bit. But Clemson and LSU, even matchup.
Tigers by 10.
Yeah. All right, Bill Walton.
Yeah, LSU by 10.
Really?
Yeah, I just feel like
high score. I think that I like 80. I mean, I think I had the over under like 80, but I think it's only like 65.
I think there's going to be some points put on the board.
Yeah.
I think it could get. I mean, it may
in
not
the 40s.
I think
30s.
you can get to the 40s, high 30s, low 40s, kind of where.
Like 38 to 28,
somewhere
like
around there,
or 42, 32, 42, 31.
Yeah, maybe more like that. I mean, LSU just outside of Auburn has been able to put 38, 40 points.
Ain't nobody even thought about stopping them in the last.
No, well, they could have scored 90
6
on
weeks.
Oklahoma. I mean, that was a joke. So I do think this will be one of the better defenses they play, obviously, in Clemson. In 2 weeks preparing, they'll have a game plan for that. But Joe Burrow and what he's been able to do and what these receivers and LSU's offensive line is outstanding. And they've been able to protect Joe Burrow, and he's not just a sit back there in the pocket and drop back passer. He can run the football, and he's tough, and he embraces contact. So Hilaire back there running the football is a good compliment to him. But Trevor Lawrence is he just don't lose. That's the thing about Trevor Lawrence. He just finds ways to win. And what are they at, 29 in a row?
Something like
Clemson,
that.
29. Yeah. So I'm going to have to give. I mean, LSU kind of has a lot of momentum. Clemson grinded it out against Ohio State, able to hold on. It's going to be a great match. It's the matchup I wanted to see. Yeah. When they named the 4 teams in the playoffs, this is the one I wanted to see.
Should be a really fun game to watch. NFL playoffs on tomorrow. You got the Vikings at the 49ers. and the Titans at the Ravens. Who you liking those?
You know, the Vikings kind of shocked me by going into New Orleans and really shutting Drew Brees and that offense down. So, you know, San Francisco has been the team in the NFC for the most part this year, but Minnesota seems to be kind of hot right now. So they're you know, playing in San Francisco, I think will make a difference. So I'm gonna ride out with the 49ers.
I think defensively, San Francisco better than the Saints, and I think that might be the difference in that game. Tennessee Titans at the Ravens. I think that's a really interesting matchup, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm picking an upset in this one.
Really? No way.
No way.
Not happening. Lamar Jackson just here's the thing with Tennessee. They can't afford to get down a lot of points. They're not structured to come from behind. They want to get you like they got New England. New England failed to get in the end zone, had to settle for field goals. Once they got the lead, they just sit back there with Derrick Henry and pound on you. And that's what they want to do. So I just think the Ravens are too much for them offensively, and I think they'll jump out on them. And Tennessee will have to kind of get out of their game plan. They won't be able to just sit back there and hand the ball to Derrick Henry.
On Sunday, it'll be the Texans at the Chiefs and the Seahawks at the Packers. Lambeau Field.
I'm going to go upset at Kansas City. I'm going to go
Really?
Houston goes into Kansas City and win. Houston plays better on the road than they do at home. They need to stay out of NRG Stadium, and they need to go on the road. Pat Mahomes has struggled all year with injuries. You know, I know they're a good football team, but I think this is a winnable game for the Texans. Deshaun Watson just seems to make plays, and if they can get, you know, their running game active, along with obviously, you know, DeAndre Hopkins, maybe the best receiver in the NFL, arguably one of the best. I'm gonna go with Houston Texans and upset over Kansas City.
Okay. Seahawks and Packers.
I mean, 10 inches, 11 inches of snow today in Green Bay.
They brought out the shovels.
I mean, it's supposed to snow during the game.
That has to favor Green Bay, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, you would think. Yeah, you know, and they interviewed Russell Wilson and some of the Seahawks guys, and they're like, "Oh, it's a little chilly out here today." No, this isn't any. You know, and he said, "Well, this is what you dream of."
Maybe like 20
you know,
below.
when you're kids and you play it in the snow. Yeah, you go out there for 10 minutes and play till your hands about froze off. You come inside and warm up. You got to go out there and play, and boy, you get hit in that. I mean, you just got to feel like you're gonna crumble. But I'm gonna go with Aaron.
I'm gonna go
Rodgers
with the
Packers.
Chiefs and the Packers in that one. I think and, that should be both of those. You know, either way it goes, it should be a pretty fun. On this day, the catch. Joe Montana to Dwight Clark. I misspoke a couple of days ago because we celebrated Dwight Clark's birthday. This was an NFC Championship game, not the Super Bowl. But big time, one of the most iconic plays in NFL history. On this day, 2011, Auburn defeated Oregon to win the national championship.
What a great day.
Wonderful day. A lot better than that one in 2014.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't go to that
one. Yeah, that just doesn't. It just doesn't. That was a fun day.
It was great. It was a great game, and obviously felt like Auburn controlled the game more than the score. Oregon comes back and ties the daggum game up at the end, and you're like, what in the world?
Well, you know, we have a fumble late. Cam, you know, gets hit and
just almost slopped it away at the end. But he played hurt most of that game. A lot of people didn't realize it until after the game was over.
Michael Dyer with a famous not down, but he was down. Not down, but he was.
And you know, you go back and look at it, he wasn't.
He was not down. And it was a good call.
And it's probably better that he didn't score.
Probably
because
so.
Oregon didn't get the ball back. We didn't have to kick off. We didn't have to sit there on pins and needles with them throwing the ball up, and we just kind of iced the game away.
All right. Happy birthday, Willie McCovey, George Foreman, Glenn Robinson, Max Packett, Clown Prince of Baseball. So long for now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.